Man, I gotta remember how to do this, right? Been a minute.
Got how to do it. It's been so long, buddy.
Hey, man, it's great to be back. We got a show tonight, folks. Let's roll. And welcome in, everybody. It is episode 174 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. My name is John, your host, as always, joined by my co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell. Buddy, we had to take a break, but we're back. How you feeling, man?
Man, I feel well rested and ready to rock and roll, man. It feels good to be back. Breaks are needed sometimes, but it feels good to be back.
They are, man. Yeah, we'll get into it, man. We about the break that we had, but it was like you said, it was needed. It was almost like. Mm-hmm. No, we had no choice, really, to be honest with you, between like some of the stuff that was going on. It was just it's been a crazy month. It's been a crazy year, but it's been a crazy month and a half or so, man. But hey, look, welcome anybody that's new to the show. We appreciate y'all tuning in, whether you're listening to us, watching us on YouTube, or listening to us on iTunes, Spotify. Drop us a 5-star review if you are, and if you're watching us on YouTube, drop us a like, support the channel, subscribe if you like, man. We once the season starts, I'm just going to stop saying when we're going to record, because the summer we don't even know. It's just like it's getting crazy. It's just a little while, but when the season starts, we'll be doing a preview show every week. We'll be doing a recap show every week. So we'll have 2 shows a week when the season gets going, barring any kind of craziness that happens. But that's what we've done the last few seasons, and that's what we're going to keep on doing. So it'll normally be on a Thursday night. We'll preview. The review could come on a Sunday night after the game or Sunday evening, depending on how that game went, how we're feeling. And it could be a Monday. You never know. But and it kind of depends too on my kids' baseball schedule, because they'll be playing during the fall as well. So, but that's kind of what you can expect from us throughout the year, man. For anybody that's new, like I said, anybody that's come back, man, hey, welcome back in. If you're watching this on X or Twitter, feel free to comment. You guys, it'll show up on the chat. We'll get into you. We'll chat as well. So yeah, that's it, man. So Mike, before we get Marq on the channel, man, introduce Marq. You got anything you wanted to? I know you did have a birthday. You did have a birthday.
I wanted to say that I wasn't ignoring you guys. I was partying for my birthday. I had a lot of fun. It was no working and a lot of twerking. So you know what was going on. I was occupied, but I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my. I ain't on X. I'm not on Twitter. I don't, But I really wanted to thank everybody that took time to wish me a happy birthday on my birthday. That meant the world to me. So thank you so much. I had a absolute blast, and everybody on TikTok and all the platforms who wished Biscuit his 3rd birthday yesterday. That was absolutely awesome. He had a cake, a party, all got a bunch of presents. He got a pup cup. He went for a walk. He got a bath. He had a day. His birthday was better than mine. It was the most amazing thing. So I want to thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a great birthday. I had a great one.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude, your Twitter blew up with a bunch of folks wishing you
Thank you so much, man.
happy birthday. So I just liked them all because I told everybody up front, like, y'all know Mike doesn't check Twitter.
I'm not going to. Yeah.
Go ahead and like go ahead and give him your wishes.
But I did read them.
And he did read them though. So yeah, exactly.
Thank you, guys.
We got Kane a pup cup a few weeks ago, or like maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've got to wait. He's too, like, he destroys it. It goes everywhere. Like there's whipped cream.
Oh, he's too wild with it.
He gets way too excited about it.
Yeah.
So we can't do that for right now. They ask every time, but I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a dick, but But anyway, we do have a guest tonight, man. We got to bring him on, man. Mr. Marq Chaney from Bleacher Report. What's going on, Marq?
Marq.
So, fellas, John, Mike, happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy.
You guys, man. Good to see
you. What
up,
Marq? Good to have you, man.
So, yeah, so funny, man. So the last show we did, Marq was in the chat. And I'd seen Marq on a few, like on Birdo, he'd been on Birdo or whatever. And, he hopped in our chat and was active and we had a great time. And, we just connected online. I was like, hey, man, love to have you on. He's done some work in the past for the Falcons Bleacher Report. Now I guess doing more Hawks. But man, just tell the folks, man, where they can find you, what work you're doing, what you got coming up, all that stuff before we get into it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, again, appreciate you guys having me on. For the ones that don't know, my name is Marquise Chaney. A lot of y'all see me from my Atlanta Bird Gang days. A lot of y'all might recognize you from Bleacher Report. I'm on there holding it down with Berto, man, covering the Atlanta Falcons, covering Atlanta Hawks. So definitely got a lot to talk about this summer with Atlanta sports, with the Hawks getting the #1 pick. And then I just recently, I just started my own YouTube channel, so y'all can see it right there listed below. Man, I'm trying to get back outside, man. I'm trying to get back outside. So
let's get it.
I'm be covering all Atlanta sports, man. Just want to be a part of the community going forward.
Yeah, man. We'll make sure to drop Marq's channel in our description of this video. So if y'all can go over there and just drop him a sub as well, we much appreciate that. Because it's not going to be the last time Marq's on the show. So again, so that's just it's just how it works. But so Mike, we do get an email, man. So and it was hilarious because it came literally like an hour ago. So and it was just perfect timing. That's from I'm not even let's say. From Joey C Dub, man. I love it. The email is fantastic. It is hang on. C double with cheese. I love it.
C double with cheese. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Look, man, the title says original fan. He said, hey guys, my family shares a car and you two have been a part of our morning routine for years. I drive and drop off each kid at their school, then my wife at work. Now that is awesome and scary at the same time that you got your kids listening to us, but
yes.
We don't give a disclaimer, but y'all have, I mean, you've been listening to us long enough. We do drop things here and there that are probably not, some people don't want their kids to hear, but it's all good. But we appreciate that. He said, whenever you drop an EP, that's what we listen to. My kids get a kick out of saying the name because they get to get away with not cursing, but annoying mom and dad at the same time.
That is hilarious. That's all. Oh, I love it.
Been rocking with the show since the beginning, but just curious to know, are you guys still doing it weekly or is it monthly now? Well, buddy, it's been a little up in the air, hasn't it? It's been we would love to get back to weekly. I'll just interrupt the email just to say real quick, Mike's been in and out of town traveling. Our work has been we both do the same thing, and just a long story short, it's been crazy. Y'all know my kids' baseball schedule and everything else has been nuts. So it's just been a lot of family. It's just we get home and we get home late and it's done. It's like I don't want to come on and give like a half-ass show. Mike doesn't want to come on and give a half-ass show. So it's just like, what, we'll just take some time off and we'll get back when we get back. So it was just a good time. At least it was, it's a slow. I mean, OTAs are going on, which we'll talk about, but it's a slower time. So, but that's where we've been. So that's not the goal. That's just kind of what happened, man. Because life kind of happened. Anyway, he said, or are you two falling back from it and doing other things? No, that's not it at all. We're still here.
Just had a break, buddy.
Yeah, man. I said, I hope all is well, fellas. I do miss the weekly shows. It truly is the best Falcons pod available. Nothing really even compares, to be honest. I saw someone tag you today. I'm guessing that was Marq, or maybe
Marq.
somebody else, and said, I'm guessing you were going to be on another show or whatever, but just asking because you're still doing your own show. It's all good, man. Yeah, this is actually, you know by now we're doing, we're on a show. So I need the guys back. I have a Falcons question and a regular question too. Number one, if we end up with the same record as the Arthur Smith seasons, will you guys be out on Terry or Raheem? Or how many seasons would you give him before you're out on them? We'll get to that. Remind me of that.
Yeah.
John, give me some dad advice, man. Just had, I guess, other than the two kids that he has, just had a child. And might sound stupid, but should I read books on parenting or just wing it? I got you, buddy. Don't you worry. Mike.
That's a great question.
Yeah, and Mike can answer some of that too, based on him just watching, because he's been around us long enough, so he knows. Mike, first, happy birthday to you and Biscuit.
Thank you, buddy.
Question: I watch your TikToks, and you were meant for the stage, bro. You are literally 100 different people all in one.
That's hilarious.
You speak that intelligent, real stuff, but it's also funny. You will no doubt be in a position of influence very soon, my brother. Question: I'm trying to grow my TikTok as well, and I just started. Not to get too much into your personal business, but I noticed a good amount of really popular people, especially females, follow you, who damn near don't follow anybody else. Wait, where's that? You don't have to share if you're dating them or not, or know them personally. But I remember you saying it helps tremendously that those specific girls repost. I guess on one of the shows we were talking about. People with many followers don't have the engagement that you do. So give me some tips, bro. Love you too. Bring back the show, please, with all caps and a bunch of exclamation points. The rest of this shit is boring. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you, C-Dub. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love it, man. Oh yeah, and we do got to shout. I mean, look, we're not going to say that our friends are boring, because we love our guys. I do got to say that too. I went in on JR show earlier and said, hey, what's up? Because look, when I mean we've been out, I mean we've been out. I haven't watched Berto. I haven't watched JR. I haven't watched Smitty. I haven't watched nobody, dude. Like I literally, I've been listening to Aaron in the car. Like that's what I've been doing. Like listening to Locked On Falcons. That's basically what I've been getting my Falcons fix from. And that's because I just haven't had the time to sit down and just listen to the show. So I'm excited to get some time back to start doing that. But hey, man, Marq, since you're here, buddy, we'll let you actually answer this first question. So if we end up with the 7-10 record this year, like how are you feeling?
First of all, that's a great question, because I don't think anyone's really considering that possibility. But to answer your question, man, if we end up 7-10 for the 4th season in a row, bye Terry, bye. I'm sorry.
That's kind of how I feel too. And I like Terry a lot. But if you want to do it again with the upgraded quarterback, upgraded roster, all that, something got to give.
Yeah.
And you're not going to fire Raheem after year one. So
no.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, I have not even considered that. But I mean, again, and I'm gonna even extend the question, because I think we all agree Terry's gonna be gone. If we don't make the playoffs, y'all think Terry's gone?
No, I think he'll still be here. I think he's at least this year. Like I don't like next year. I think would be like, no, dude, you gotta make the playoffs next year. Like I think even though we all know that we have a major upgraded quarterback, defense is going to look, we hope, better. You know what I mean? And the defense was already improved. Don't get me wrong, it was already improved last year from the previous year. So we just hope we continue that, but then take some more steps forward, right? But I just think because it's year one, like that's just going to be like year one, at least of this regime. Like Terry's going to get like that pass. You know what I'm saying? But that the next year though, like no, like it's got to be the playoffs next year. Like got to be. I mean, to me, it has to be this year. Period. Like I don't think there's any excuse this year in our division. But that's what I'm guessing.
But it'd be hard for me to blame him, because I mean, I could buy you the best groceries. If you can't cook, you can't cook. I don't know what more you want me to do. I just went to Whole Foods. I didn't go to Aldi. I didn't go to Piggly Wiggly. I went to Whole Foods. I got you the best groceries I could get you, and you failed to make a delicious meal. Why should I get fired? But like I said, somebody said got to roll when you losing repeatedly. So it's probably going to be him.
Mm.
All right, Mark, what you think, man?
Yeah.
You think he's gone?
Yeah.
If he don't make the playoffs this year?
Oh. Whew.
He ain't even
I
think
think
about
he's
it. See,
gone.
that's positive mental state. It didn't cross his mind. I love it.
Right.
He has not pondered this as I haven't either. I love it, Mark.
Right. No, I mean, it really is a great question because it's like, I mean, I think we're all expecting. I mean, they said it. You know, they want to run the South, man. They want to win the division. You know, but if we don't win it, all right. So forget winning the division. If we don't make the playoffs, John, I think Terry out of here.
He might be. I mean, he might
be because somebody got to go.
I mean,
somebody got to roll.
Because it'd be. I mean, you're talking about that'd be what his fourth year,
fourth in a row.
Fourth in a row, yeah.
Fourth in a row.
So it's
I mean,
and you don't get that many opportunities in this league.
No.
So I mean,
but from I mean, I think we do agree though. I think you kind of do have to give him 1 year with his coaching style. So he may be safe, but man, I know the fans are going to be going for his head if he goes 7-10 again for sure.
Oh, that'll be another. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that a lot of the fan base will want him out of here for sure. And he said, I think the second part of his question is how long would you give him before you? I mean, from to me, I mean, this next year, like I said, I'm willing to kind of like, and I think it's all circumstantial, right? It depends on how the season goes. You know what I mean? Like if we end up 17, how the hell did we end up 17? Did Kirk get hurt? Did Pennis get hurt? Like, did what happened? Like, if we stay healthy and we just, I mean, then we got problems if we go 7 and 10. But it just depends on kind of that, like how that works out. But all things being equal, yeah, you got to make the playoffs next year. But I'm expecting playoffs this year because there's really no excuse. You look at our division, there's really no excuse. But yeah. All right, we'll get back to the Falcons in a second. Yeah, it was a great question. All right, so he said, John, give me some dad advice. All right, man. So, did
you read books, John? Brother, he had two great questions. You read books on like parenting, or you just went?
Not one. No, not one. No.
Okay.
No. It was well, I mean, Liam was 6 weeks early, right? So like he kind of surprised everybody. It was like he was great. He was healthy and everything, but like he was just like, hey, I'm here. So I probably wouldn't have started reading those books anyway until like a couple of weeks prior to like his actual due date. So but no, I didn't. I just but I mean, look, I had a couple of great parents, and I kind of like molded some of it after how they raised me, and I kind of also stuff I added, of course, my own. You know what I mean? Like that I just thought would work myself. But man, best thing I'll give you some practical stuff, man. Like number one, like kind of let them make mistakes. Like let them kind of grow up, let them make their own mistakes, because I think it's today's world, social media, everything, like you can't make a mistake nowadays. You get crucified for anything. So like it's if there, Mike, we say it all the time, Mike, if there was like the level of social media as there was and we were like in college, man, we wouldn't even have a show.
I would be banned to an island at this point in life.
I mean, yeah, you'd be exactly. So
man,
they had to reopen Alcatraz and
and I'd be the only one.
but no, anyway, that's in one. Two, hold off on the phone as long as you can. Like we said 13 for Liam, and that's been good. And like social media, I didn't put like social media is like it's just a part of life now, right? It's gonna be there. It ain't going nowhere. But I tried to impress on him that it doesn't mean anything because when you do get an Instagram account, when you do start posting stuff, so you're opening yourself up to anybody. You know what I mean? So if you're young and you haven't like been through life really, and all of a sudden you post something about a game you played or whatever, and somebody comes on, there's maybe some grown ass man comes on there and talks shit to you or says something to you, how you gonna deal with that? And some kids can't deal with that very well. They don't know who to go to or whatever, or they start firing back at them, which doesn't do any good either. So it just opens up a whole can of worms. So like that's trying to impress him, like, hey, you've got to be kind of mentally ready for that type of
if you put yourself out,
if you want it, that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But just setting the priorities, man. Letting them know from day one, kind of like when school starts, it's grades, then it's then everything comes after that as far as school. And this is the golden rule, dude. Like that's what I've always told him. Golden rule, man. Treat people how you want to be treated, man. Like then that's if you just tell. I don't care. Like it doesn't matter, man. Religion, race, it doesn't matter. Like just treat them how you want to be treated. And I promise you're going to get far in life because not too many folks do that these days, man. Like they or there's like some hidden agenda behind the way they're like just be genuine, and nice, man, and like it'll come back to you. And there's probably some others that just come off top. Mike, you've seen me and Liam. Would you add anything to that? You seen
I'm gonna tell you what I would add. I feel like John is loving but honest. Like so, I gotta tell you when you're fucking up. I have to be able to tell you that. But with love, I'm not you stupid. I'm not doing that. But I gotta find that balance. I feel like John does the perfect balance of, dog, I gotta be honest with you because you my man. You feel me? Like you my mans, I gotta tell you the truth. Like it's like when you go into the club and your man got on a whack outfit, you got part of being a friend is like, bruh, nah, change that up, you know. And but it's with love. I'm telling you this. I'm not picking on you. I gotta tell you the truth if you my man. So I feel like John is his like dad, but his friend to that extent. Like I gotta love you. I'm loving you, but because I love you, I gotta be honest with you sometimes and tell you like, man, you mishandled that, or you didn't do the greatest job you could have done right there. So that's a great balance that John does.
Thanks, but yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
John is a great parent. Like John, and if I was a kid, I would want to come back as one of John and Amanda's kids. Like if I got reincarnated
over there.
Yeah,
no, dude. I mean, that's well, you know, I saw Kirk actually Cousins talking about like how he is with his kids, you know, and like it's kind of similar to what he said. Like, you know, he said, you know, he's not going to be like Mike and I. We had similar dads, right? And so they weren't like overly like coming at you with a ton of praise.
Yeah,
you know, so it was just kind of like they're very old school. You know, what I mean, like if you would do well, but like you into something, but you might. You know, if I got like you did a good job, like that was like, well, what the
heck?
What? You know, so like you didn't hear that, man. So like and I'm that's one thing I'm definitely not like I will like one like you know when he's pitching or when he's playing or whatever, like I'll 100% behind him gonna tell me, but I'm not gonna just inflate his ego just to inflate his ego.
Yeah.
Like if he could have done better, I'm like, well, look, if you want to have an honest conversation, we can talk about what you could have done better this game or what you did in this situation, whatever. Still, I mean, you also have to understand the position, like, kind of like as a pitcher, some days he's going to be off, some days he's going to be on. It's just, that just comes with the territory, right? So like, if he has a bad day pitching, I'm not going to sit there and crucify him on the way home. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous because he knows he had a bad day. Why does he need me jumping all over him? So I guess that'd be another piece of advice, like especially in sports, man. They know, like if you played sports, we all probably played. You know if you had a bad day, like that. I don't need you telling me I had a bad day. I understand. Like, I didn't want to do that.
I feel bad already.
I didn't want to give up that home run, but I did. Like I'm gonna try not to do it next time. Like that's what kills you. Like when we're at tournaments and you hear like parents like, just throw strikes. No shit, dude. What do you think they're trying to do?
I'm trying.
Like it's just not working right now. Like, but it's like so. Yeah, that's a big one, man. But yeah, that's the few that, like I said, we had. Mike, good addition, buddy. Appreciate you.
That was great.
So anyway, C-Dub, appreciate the email, dude. And yeah, we are back and we're ready to roll, man. So appreciate that.
Sir.
All right, been jumping the chat before we go any further, man. Ant, what's up, dude?
Ant, what up?
It has been a minute. We good though.
We was on Jamal, what up?
Jordan, what's going on?
Jordan, what up?
It is great to be back.
Great to be back, man. I hope you. I'm always good, but I gotta shake off some stuff, but I shake it off and get right back to it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. It was a lot of twerking going on. That stripper pole was in amazing use.
That's gotta be the next shirt we make.
It was the perfect day. It was pool, bikini. It went crazy. A lot of drugs. Jamal, what up? He said, been a while since I caught a show.
That's the next shirt we make. Is like no twerking, no working, a lot of twerking.
No working, a lot of twerking. Hey, I love it. That's the thing.
That's a great shirt. Yeah, exactly. No, we've been good, Jamal, man. Just busy, man.
Great.
Hey, yo, Steven.
Steve, what up? I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great.
Yes, sir. Yep. You said nice to see Marq on here too.
Yes, sir.
Timothy, what's up, buddy?
Said I'm excited to see what this new offensive defense has to bring. 14-3, baby. Now you talking my language. 14 and up.
I love it. Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve, what up?
If you missed this earlier, buddy, I haven't seen anything of your shows in the last month, and I apologize. I don't know. I'm sure you've been putting out some great ones as always. If y'all haven't seen Uncle Steve's, man, make sure y'all go over to Uncle Steve's Lounge and drop him a sub. Timothy said, Mike, loved your short with Biscuit. Recently had my iPhone create a just for you of my boxer pit. I loved
it.
Dogs do.
Bro, he had a blast. Like he knew it was his birthday, and he went crazy. So it was dope. He got fries from Wendy's. He got all his favorite things. He liked Wendy's French fries. He had everything.
Mike had Biscuit picking games for us like earlier, like last season. So like
Yeah.
he had these all the little mini helmets, and he's filming like he'd go toward. And the
He'd
week
go to
he
war.
picked the Saints, he never picked again.
He never picked. He picked the Saints one time, and I booted him off. But he will be back for next season, and I promise I will let him pick whoever he picked. It was just he picked the Saints, and I was disappointed in him as a man.
He was like 4-0 though. Like he was
4-0 at first. Yeah, he wasn't losing.
Yeah, and then honestly, I think he got the Saints one right though, didn't he? Because I think it was the last one. It was the last Saints.
Yeah.
That they won. So
which like made me more mad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We ain't picking him. Ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, Timothy, appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're glad to be man. All right, guys. So, Marq, we haven't had you on, obviously. So, man, like what sent like this year impressions of the offseason so far, man? The additions of Kirk. What was that the direct number one? Is that the direction you would have went? If not, what would you have done? And then just kind of like the free agency going receiver, not really going receiver in the draft. Just kind of how they've worked this roster since then. Like, what's your thoughts, man?
Hey, extremely active, man. It's giving us plenty to talk about. They've helped us, stay engaged. As far as the Kirk decision, it's hard to say now because now we know exactly what we did. Well, one thing's for sure. Beginning of free agency with the money we had and the hole at quarterback, I would have definitely been engaged and interested in Kirk Cousins. Like that's something for sure. But I also would have, with the 8th pick, I would have really considered quarterback. So, at the time when we signed Kirk, I loved it. I thought it was a home run type of a signing. You get a guy that's familiar with, what Zach Robinson is trying to do, or you're getting the experienced guy that's going to come in and just help elevate Bijan, help elevate Kyle, Drake, so I love the decision. I just don't like how we got 2 quarterbacks this offseason.
I knew you was going there.
Yeah. I didn't like the use of our resources, man. I think as a general manager, that's your job to be able to delegate tasks and then use your resources wisely. And I think we just invested so much in the quarterback position. Now, granted, here we are, in June, the draft's passed us. We've seen Penix still in camp. I'm excited that he's on the team. I mean, I feel like I had this same energy the past couple of drafts, honestly, going back to Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. Every time we drafted those guys at the moment, I was like, bro, what are we doing? But at the end of the day, I'm a Falcons fan. So I'm like, well, okay, after a month, you're my favorite player.
Yep.
Especially last season, the past 2 seasons. We drafted Drake London. We had an opportunity to get Jordan Davis. I feel like that one hurt, and I was really high on George Pickens. So for us to potentially been able to get Jordan Davis and George Pickens 2 seasons ago, and then this past season, we could have got Jalen Carter instead of Bijan. You can see the trend where it's like, okay, I wish we got these Georgia boys, but I'm going to still support our guys. And I feel like that's just where I've fallen with this offseason as a whole. It's just I like every move. I mean, I really do. Bringing in Darnell Mooney, I feel like that was a sneaky pickup.
Me too.
And then as far as the draft overall, man, I feel like we took some chances at D-line, man, and that's what we've been asking them to do. So now it's just up to the coaching staff to put these guys in position because, I mean, we got bodies. So overall, I feel like we've added a lot of depth. We added a lot of youth. We added an exciting head coach with good energy, good vibes. So, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I know y'all been gone for the past couple of weeks, but I've been listening. I've been, keeping my eye on the streets. I don't see how anyone can have negative energy about this team going into the season because Terry, Arthur Blank, they have put in an effort to put us in the right direction. Whether I like every move or not, I genuinely feel like we have made the most wise moves overall in the offseason. So with all that being said, like hey, I'm very optimistic about this season, man, because we've been active, and to me, it's not like they're just sitting around, man. They're not just sitting around. So, I mean, I'm curious how y'all feel. You know, are y'all excited? Y'all
Man, I got 2 questions for you, Mark, before we go there.
okay?
Because I'm clearly like about to say that we going like undefeated and we going like win the Super Bowl. I'm clearly going to answer that way.
Right.
So what I want to ask you is 2 questions. One, do you think Desmond Ritter traumatized management to the point that they was like, man, we got to get 2 quarterbacks. Like, we can't have that happen again like that, because they could feel like we could have made the playoffs last year and we were supposed to win the South last year. And like they were so traumatized, they're going to him, then Taylor, then back to him. Like, we cannot allow this to happen. So do you think that happened? And then 2, do you think that we have a problem with like sexy picks? Like we pick the pretty girl every time. It's not always the girl who got the morals and who can cook good. It's just the best looking girl. Like, and we go for the Drake London and Kyle Pitts when we need somebody on defense. Do you think that we make valid picks, or do you think we get the sexy girl? And do you think Desmond Ritter traumatized Falcons management?
Yeah, definitely great questions. I definitely think we for whatever reason, man, we enjoy these luxury picks, man. Like you said,
and that was a good way to put it. Oh, nah, I didn't get. I just enjoy the luxury of the girl. I love it. I love
that's what I'm
it.
saying. Like, no, but hey, that's how I was growing up. I mean, I see a baddie, like, I don't care what she got going on. Like, I'm gonna pick the baddie over the one with 2 jobs
Exactly.
and a car and a house. So
Yeah.
I get it, but it's like, okay, you would feel like when you mature, you start to make the wiser decisions. And I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with the Desmond Ritter pick and how they may have been scarred. I really feel like it came to a point, and I don't think it was Desmond Ritter, but I think it was Arthur Smith. I think we were scarred by Arthur Smith and his confidence that he could do anything with anyone. And
I
at the end
got
of
you.
the
Yeah.
day, that is unlikely to continue to replicate. I mean, we saw him do that in Tennessee. You know, he took Ryan Tannehill and kind of brought him back to life. And then to my other point, I know Terry was scarred as well because there was reports that I guess I think Sean Payne came on and said it when he was in New Orleans. Pat Mahomes was floating around. They were high on Pat Mahomes, but then Kansas City jumped up and got him. So I think that was a big reason why we picked Penix this year, because they were like, nah, we can't overthink this. Like, we feel good about this guy.
Get
And
him.
we before by not getting Pat, so because I think one thing we do forget when we consider Desmond Ritter was we went after Deshaun Watson. This same general manager went after, whether it was him or whether it was Arthur Blank, we made an attempt to get a talented quarterback. So, and we see them be extremely aggressive in that pursuit. Thank God the Browns were more aggressive. But
Thank God.
Thank God, because we was all in. We was ready to spend the money and send the picks.
Yep.
But I think just that the combination of that stuff and the opportunity with Kirk being available, man, it just made too much sense to get Kirk. And then when the draft fell around, again, the situation was at hand. They looked at it for what it was worth, and they said, "Hey, we can't make that same mistake again." Even though I think we all agree that is a sexy pick. Again, that's another luxury pick, because at 8, going back to what we were talking about, the quarterbacks, I was interested in Dallas Turner. I was interested in Latu. Well, I didn't really like Latu at 8, but I just knew we was gonna go defensive end because that's what we need. And to go backup quarterback, so that's never happened in NFL history for a team to sign a 4-time Pro Bowler and in the same offseason draft a quarterback top 10. Again, I don't know I don't know if that's a Terry thing. I don't know if that's Arthur Blank, because we did make a sexy pick with Julio, seasons ago.
Which worked
I don't know
out.
what it is.
Yeah.
hell of a trade.
Yeah.
That was a home run trade. But I just don't know what it is, man. I definitely think we have we like baddies.
It's Atlanta. It is Atlanta.
We like baddies.
Yeah,
You know,
we
we
like
saw
baddies.
Bajan. We saw Bajan's thighs and him
Yep.
smiling, and we
Yep.
lost our mind.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah, I mean,
again, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were like us. I mean, you sound like you were like us on draft night. We were all like, what? And I mean, I walked off for a second. Like, I didn't even, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. And then, because same as you, like, I was expecting like an end or, you know, possibly a trade back, maybe even a corner, you know, if they really liked one of the top corners, you know, that was there, like maybe even that. But, you know, like most people, you know, after a few days or whatever, I come around, I'm like, all right, you know, like if this is it. And they truly, honestly, you know, and I'm gonna bring up Timothy's comment here. He said, I saw an interview with lead scout on Fontenot's team, and he stated clearly that every draft since they took over, they've looked for the guy at quarterback, and Penix is the first one that they've had in reach. If that's the case, and that's how you feel about it, all right, man. Like, I mean, because yeah, it does feel kind of nice, to be honest with you, that if something happens to Kirk, we do have a guy that, you know, we think theoretically, even though he hadn't stepped on the field yet, we think can step in and do the job at least. And it feels nice to know that if Kirk is done after 2 years, which more than likely will be based on, you know, just his money, then, you know, Penix progressing, that we will have a guy there, you know, that can just step right in and take over. Because we know, I mean, I forgot who we had on, Mike, but it might have been who was it, man? He was just like, it wasn't a surprise at all, because like it's the most important position in sports. You know what I mean? Like that, and you're going to invest. You know, when you think that you have a guy there, you're going to not waste your time. You're going to just boom. That's it. I'm going to go grab him. You know, I'm not going to let him get past me. And I'm, you know, you want to say that, you know, like they said, you're not going to be drafting at this point next year. That's hopefully true. You know what I mean? So, all right, you know, you don't want to waste it, and you see how expensive it is to move up and get those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, I understand it. So it's like, you know, would I've loved a high quality edge rusher? Absolutely. Like, you know, or something like that. But, you know, I playing a long game. All right. You know, if it works out, brilliant move. You know, if it falls out on his face, it'll be the dumbest thing we've ever done. So like that's.
Man, I'm so trusting of them. Man, I'm so trusting that as soon as they said, because I hated it at first, but I trust them so much that I feel like if you done that, you had to be like, that's the future of the franchise. Like you had to see, and y'all all had to agree, like that is the future of the franchise. And I'm telling you, that's a bad man. And all y'all had to agree to that and move forward. And I'm so trusting, but then I trusted y'all with Desmond Ritter when y'all told me the same thing. So y'all broke my heart.
Well, we
many times.
We trusted hard on that one.
Yeah, so I mean, I trust them because they was all in on Desmond. He is the one. I said, the third round, okay, man. I believe anything you say, but see, man, I believe strippers. So I'm not the litmus test here, but so you can't, you know. So I'm just easily fooled. So I just feel like if they done that, if they did that, if they went balls out like that, that had to be something when you said we cannot pass on it. So I was in that after that. And I just feel like we need a defense. If you skip the defense and you went and got him, and when you just got a quarterback, I feel like y'all was in agreement. We can't let, like you just said, Pat Mahomes go again, because he might turn into Pat Mahomes or somebody great. And then everyone will be talking about how stupid we was for passing on him.
Yeah, true. Yeah, when he was there. Yeah, and it's like we did a mock draft and we went on JR show, you know, and Jonathan on pound for pound. And I think Mike, we selected like we selected like 4 defensive linemen in a row. And we had a comment like, what are y'all doing? Y'all are crazy. What do they do? They go draft 4 defensive line. I mean, like, but and I was down with it, because I mean, I think that's what kind of brought me. I was a little like, I wasn't as familiar with Rook's game, you know what I mean? Like when they moved up to get him. So I was kind of like, really? But you know but you know, after watching, he still has some growing to do. Now that the potential he has is really, really good, because he is a high class athlete for that size. You know, if he can max out that ability, then great. You know what I mean? But you know, I was happy with the rest. For most part, I was happy with the rest of the picks. So, you know, I was okay with it. But Don, we go back to your original question, Mark, what we thought about it. I mean, yeah, we I did a show with Savion Mixon on a quarterback potential quarterback options, like at the beginning of free agency, and we both, because Savion covered the Vikings last year, so he kind of had a really good kind of idea of kind of what was going on there, and both of us were like, we just don't see it. It's just like, it's a lot of money. We have a lot of needs. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like, we felt, they might address it a different way. They may go Justin Fields because that made more sense as far as the money side went. And it was all kind of, at the time, it kind of depended on, several things. Coaching staff, who that hire was going to be, if that was going to be a good fit or whatever. But when they pulled the trigger on Kirk, and then I think it was a combination of Kirk and then getting Raheem, who then getting Zach, to come over from the LA as well, from Zach Robinson. I mean, like, then it was like, okay, I can kind of see this now. You're just bringing basically McVay light here, which he'd already been running in Minnesota. It's going to be, I'm sure there'll be some tweaks to it, clear, because everybody's gonna put their own stamp on it, but it just made more sense at that point. Like, okay, so we just have, and you can tell just from OTAs, you can tell from, and you can tell it's not just a play. Like, every player is talking, like defensive players, offensive players, they're all saying like what a difference it is having Kirk in the building, and just his overall profession. Like, he's a nonstop worker. Like, he's going, like, he's just the detail. I think that's what the difference in. And it's not Desmond's fault. Like, it was his first year, really his first year in the league, right? That's just stuff you learn from being a professional, in the league for so many years. You pick up on those details. I don't think Mariota was the best guy he could have learned from in year one. You know what I mean? So, and then he just pieces out on him. You know what I mean?
A mannequin would have been better than Mariota.
So, I'm not making an excuse for Dez. I'm just saying that's just a difference, because Dez was probably a good leader in his own right to the player, because all the guys liked him. But this is just different. Now you got a guy who's been in the league for 12 years. He's been through everything. He's seen everything. He's thrown to some high caliber guys in his career. So I just think that's going to make a big difference. So hopefully, like what C-Dub said in that email, like we ain't even discussing 7 and 10. It's not even an option.
We're not even talking about it. So, man, we blocking you on all platforms, C-Dub, for even asking that ridiculous stuff. I'm just playing. So hold on, Mark. I got one for you. Do you think it will be, in the long run, will it benefit Penix sitting, or would it be more beneficial if, like, just say if you knew we were going to get Penix, if we knew he was going to be there, would it still been smarter to get Kirk and have him sit behind Kirk, or do you think it would have been more beneficial for him to play ball?
Yeah, and see, that was my thing. So I did a reaction on Bleacher Report after we picked Penix, and man, I was tearing to pick up, man. And of course, lucky for me, everyone was on my bandwagon too. So it was a great stream.
We were popular guys that day.
Yeah, exactly. But that was one of my points. I was saying, well, one of the benefits of getting a guy like Penix is, well, he's an older player. He has he has more experience. That's kind of what's helped him the past couple of years at Washington. Him sitting is kind of counterproductive. Like, it's like the boy's hot. Like, he needs to be playing. He don't need to be sitting. So I thought that's a great question, because I don't think, again, that's when it goes back to just the whole Penix pick, man. I love the player, but it's like, how they went about it, man, something's not sitting right with me, because I think we're not taking advantage of, his most recent success. And don't get me wrong, I think he will benefit from sitting behind Kirk, but I think he would have been one of the rookies out of this class that would have been just fine starting day one. Like,
I got you.
So, hopefully for our benefit, man, he sits, he learns, he becomes a better pro. And when he does play, I mean, we're not even thinking about, what was the
we
right
all
decision.
love it then. Yeah. So completely off the rails, Mark. You got to pick one. The pressure's on you. You in the middle of the stadium. The band's, it's halftime, and they hand you the mic. Now, Arthur Blank personally standing by you, hand you the mic. He say, Mark, we're going to induct a player. I need you to give me the greatest Atlanta Falcon of all time, and we're going to have a ceremony for him. Who's the greatest Atlanta Falcon, in your opinion, of all time? If you got to pick one, be on offense, defense, whoever you want to go with.
I got to pick one, man. It's easy. It's easy, man. 2008, Falcons had a third pick. We picked Matt Ryan. Fast forward to his first game against Detroit. his first throw, a
Ooh.
touchdown on Mike Jenkins, man. You
Mhm.
know, so again, I was in attendance. So to me, it's no doubt, man. I feel like Matt Ryan, he hasn't got his respect for whatever reason, but I think it's without question, like he is the best Falcon pound for pound. He has all the passing records. He's top 10 in touchdowns, NFL history, top 10 in wins. Top 10
Get this man a podium. Get this man a podium.
I mean, not
Keep
only,
going.
not only am I going to put him into the Falcons Ring of Honor, I'm gonna call Roger Goodell and I say, hey, we got to go in and get this gold jacket for this young man. We got to go in and get his face. I mean, again, that's just. I hope this reaches Matt Ryan, but like, we truly appreciate you. At least where I come from, I got a Matt Ryan jersey hanging up, and we were at a low point of our fandom, man. And like I said, you instantly brought us into a whole nother level. One Rookie of the Year, one MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, got us to the Super Bowl. I mean, if we would have invested in our defense, throughout his career, he'd probably have at least one Super Bowl. We all think he should have had one in Houston. I mean, again, to me, he led one of the top 7 offense of all time.
Yeah.
If he's not the best player in Falcons history, then I don't know who else, man. So Matt
You
Ryan,
are now welcomed on this show at any point, buddy. Just know that from the bottom. I love Matty Ice.
I appreciate that.
Oh man.
Double B-Rod. What up, fam? I feel like our run defense will take a big step with all these big bodies. Yeah, we needed those, B-Rod. We definitely needed those.
I agree, man. I can't wait to see those guys out there, especially the young guys, man. Seeing all those guys on the line go out there and just contribute. And they're going to get their opportunities, man, because, I mean, we've seen every year, like, the deeper your defensive line is, the better off the team is. You can keep getting guys in there fresh. We don't know how fresh Grady's going to be. And look, Grady was talking today. I caught some of the interview before we came on, or at the press conference. Rehabs went well. We know, y'all know Grady going to work hard. I mean, no matter what the situation is. So he'll be back. ACL, you never know. It's just one of those things. He's got to get comfortable on it himself. But, this is nice having those extra bodies there, man, for sure. DJ, what's up?
DJ, what up?
Good to see you, man.
Say it with me, because Arthur Smith was incompetent. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He did not switch it up when it wasn't working. So that's incompetence. DJ said Kirk is the president and MPJ is, so they got both.
That's what I'm hoping for, man.
I was pissed at first at the 8th pick, but I got over it because at the end of the day, it's business, and it wouldn't have been a better time to get it was a contingency plan, but it was just very early on. Steve said, still can't pretend I love the Penix pick, but I do think some people get caught up on it. At a certain point, the only team and the pick is irrelevant. It's about maximizing who you took. Man, I feel like that about war. I'm not for it until we go to war. Then I'm like, destroy completely. I'm totally on board.
Yeah, well, and it's like you really we can go back and assess like the 2020 class now. You know what I mean? But you can't really sit here and assess this class right now because you don't know. They haven't.
You gotta wait.
Yet. You gotta wait. So that's how I really don't do draft grades. Like I can give you a grade of what I think the player was in college, but I mean that's something
you don't know,
man. I mean, you see like just amazing guys in college, and it just does not work. Vince Young is the most amazing quarterback I've seen at the college level. It just didn't work. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things.
Tim Tebow was killing in college.
Yeah, I knew Tim Tebow.
When Fisher said everyone will love it. It is 2036 from Penix has us win. Yeah. I'm hoping that's it. So I think we will all love that. Steve said kind of the same thing as when we took Bijan. Didn't love the process of a running back high, but once he was the pick, focus turned on maximizing the talent, which we did with Bergeron. Offensive line helps your running backs. Yes, they did.
Big time.
Looking at MPJ, the dude just has that it factor, especially the way he can throw the balls on some next level type shit. The injury history scares me a little. That's the only thing I was scared about, but I do think the boy is stupid talented. Healthy last 2 years, he got smarter. Yep.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't RG3 it. Matt Ryan, there you go, buddy. Greatest Falcon of all time. I might be biased, but Mike Vick, I'm not going to argue that, but I will argue that. I just remember when the swagger he had me being a kid. Yeah, he's our favorite. He's beloved, but Matt Ryan got the accolade.
Yeah,
him on TV breaking dudes anger. Y'all, he was the shit on Madden. So he made everybody want to play Madden. He made everybody wear a jersey. He made people from other states be Falcon fans. It's no denying what Mike. He made people here who had checked out of football, who were just Hawks and Braves, was back in the stadium. So it's no denying. He said, "Did Eddie Goldman make football?"
He's still there, buddy. He's still hanging on, I believe. Like the humidity has not got him yet. So we're getting hotter now. These days are getting hotter. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I hope he stays. I hope he stays.
Yeah.
But hey, so Steve brought up Bijan. They talked about, we've heard Zach Robinson say it, and Bijan said it himself, that the plan is to him be more used like Christian McCaffrey is used in that offense in San Francisco, which I like it. So what do you think, Mark? And how do you think that affects Tyler Algier?
Yeah, I think, when we pick, Bijan, it just, it hurt the Tyler Algier stock. But as far as this year, the Zach Robinson offense, I just feel like it means he's gonna be fed when he's hot. That's all really taken from it. Last year, even 2 seasons ago, before Bijan got here, Arthur Smith had this idea of, okay, you're the starting running back for this drive. You're the starting running back for this drive. A guy could be hot, and Cordell Patterson is going to come in and get some carries. And I think all they're saying is, okay, Bijan's killing them. We're going to keep feeding them. I don't think that means, we're going to run them into the ground. I don't think we're going to force anything. I know a lot of people are like, they're rubbing their hands, especially fantasy people. They're excited. But I just think we're going to – he's a great player. If the other teams can't stop him, we're going to continue to lean on him. I think that's all that means.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Mike?
Tyler is the gray sweatpants. You can have your fancy pants, but you need a pair of gray sweatpants. We all need them for chilling around the house, for cutting grass. It's just young. I think he's the most disrespected Falcon because the man is amazing. You cannot discount what he did, and we went in. We got the pretty girl, which I love, but we can't forget what he did, man. And he is amazing. And they do 2 different things. So especially if you're going to use him like Kristen. That is 2 drastically different things that they do. Man, if we need 3 yards, I want Tyler to have the ball, in my opinion. You feel me? If he's a bowling ball. So we need to get a yard. I don't want Bijan to get the ball when we need a yard. There's a lot of situations I want Tyler to be in the game. And to keep the pretty girl pretty, we have to use them both, right? Because the pretty girl will look old real fast, and she'll need a wig and all the makeup if we overuse her early on, okay? Don't use the pretty girl up. You want to maintain her so she can always be pretty, and I think you need them both to do that. But it did hurt his stock for trading and stuff because he won't have the stats and to ask for the money that he would get if he was just the starting running back. And he could go to any other team and destroy being a starting running back. Let me make that clear. He's not a backup running back.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I love Tyler. I mean, like Mark, he's actually one of the guys I called like when we drafted.
John called it first.
And I don't have many wins when it comes to calling draft picks, but that was like a win that I had. So like I will gladly keep talking about it until I get another one. But that was But I mean, dude. I mean, I agree with everything you said, Mike. And I'm good if they want to use Bijan like that because it makes sense. Like he can catch the ball in the backfield like amazingly. I think Arthur kind of inflated us a little bit last year because we were kind of thinking like, oh man, like Bijan's going to be he's going to be split out wide. He's going to be in the tight end. He's going to be like everywhere, and he kind of really wasn't. Like he wasn't near as much as we kind of thought it was going to be. And not saying that this is going to be the same way with Zach, but it's just a different offense, right? So it's going to be. And Bijan even said like, we're still running outside zone, but there's going to be he said there's going to be some things that I did in college that I'm bringing here that I was successful with, and that's music to my ears because like if you're going to it's great if you go in outside zone, but if you can do other stuff that he's successful with, like do that as well because you can like whatever you can do for the offense to kind of like curtail it to the player, especially a player like that. That's the only good things can happen from that, man. And Tyler said the same. He said he still wants to work on, catching the ball and getting better at that. So when he's in the game, it's not obvious he's one running the ball, right? So I mean, if he's in, it can still be a pass play. It can't be just a dead giveaway. And you just got to hope the O-line, because Aaron talks about it a lot on Locked On Falcons. He's not wrong. Is a big part of the failures last year was our run game took a step back from the previous year, and that was true, and like we weren't near as efficient running the ball as we were the year before, and like that, Bergeron's first year, I mean. Remember that Chris didn't get off to a great start last year. Lindstrom, his first 3 or 4 games was shaky. Then he kind of got, he got to himself again. So we got to hope those guys kind of rebound, have a good year too, for not just for Bijan, but just in our running game in general. And then having Jace as a third back, I think, was just a really good draft pick too to have, because he's similar. He's a good comp. Like, he's a big guy, but he's a really good gap runner. He can run outside. He can catch the ball. He can block. Like I said, he can block his ass off. We're talking about in the pass game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just. That was my next question, Mark. Is like, what are you looking forward most to, with this team? Like, is it the offense, or like what you're going to see out of that, the defense? Like, what's got you like really like can't wait for August to get here, September?
Man, well, I definitely want to see Kirk, but I mean, kind of getting back to 2016, man, playing that complimentary football. The offense, you get you come out aggressive, man. You don't come out playing around. You get in sevens. And then you just help the defense, man, to pin their ears back and just win games like that, man. Run up the score. We got to be aggressive. If it's 4th and 1 on the 40 and, maybe on 3rd down we had a nice run. I think that's one thing I'm excited about with Raheem is he has so much experience, so much good, so much bad. He knows the flows of the game. Where I felt like Arthur Smith, he kind of was like, just overthinking, man. Like, he just was probably better off as an offensive coordinator. Not making that final decision. But now we have Raheem. He has that swagger. He understands this. He understands that. And I think that's what I'm excited for, man. Matter of fact, I think that's my answer. Now I think, but I'm excited to see Raheem Morris, just an experienced head coach, lead our football team, man. I think that's the only thing that stopped us from making the playoffs past couple of seasons. It's just, Arthur Smith, it was just too much for him, man. Calling plays, he was creative at times. He probably wasn't as bad as we really think. But I think just the pressure of, figuring out what hash you want to be on and okay, the defense, just so much going on, and then him being the offensive coordinator, that was obviously to his demise. Like, he probably should have hired a real offensive coordinator. So again, now we have a coach similar to Dan Quinn that is coming in. He has a guy over the defense, guy over the offense, and occasionally I can step in on either side and make a decision. People forget in 2016, that's kind of, the defense wasn't great, but that's kind of when the defense took a turn when Dan Quinn said, all right, like my defensive coordinator, he's starting to fail us a little bit. Let me take responsibility. After that, we took off. So again, I think that's what I'm most excited about, man, just to see Raheem understand what the city needs. Not only does he have the experience too, he was just here. Just here. And I don't mean to take the question away from Mike or you, John, but is it possible that Arthur Smith was a sexy pick over Raheem? Because remember, when we fired Dan Quinn, Raheem kind of had the guys rallied up. And a lot of people think he should have got the job that year. Was Arthur Smith the sexy pick that offseason?
Bruh, he ain't even sexy to his wife. So I can't even. I'm not. If he the sexy pick, then we need to redefine sexy. What is happening?
In football terms.
Yeah. So what is happening right now? What I'm excited about is the fact that, to me, we got a bunch of sexy picks now. If you add them all up, so it's like the whole. It's like the Cowboys cheerleaders is so sexy. It look crazy, like, because the fans here are so fickle and they like lights and fireworks and it got to be exciting, got to be a show. So you can't. I'm not trying to diss the fans because I love them, but they don't get football on a deep level. So it has to be exciting and oh my God and high flying. And when you go get Kirk and Raheem and you got Bijan and you got Kyle Pitts, like that, and you got Drake London, and then the team, it's like a renovation. And you went and got Clark Phillips, and you got new all this, and you got a new coordinator. Now the fans are gonna be like, man, we filling the seats, we buying jerseys, we staying after, we going to the after party, we supporting, we buying helmets, we can't wait to see, and they will tune in. The only thing about it is when you do all that, when it's Showtime Lakers, you can't miss, because they will turn on your ass so fast. If you done all that and you losing, they gonna drag you like you never been dragged. For these fans will check out at the end of the first quarter. I've seen them do it.
So
It's
you're talking
too many strip clubs. They will leave and they go to strip club and Waffle House and go home. Like they are going home. So I'm just excited because I know how the city is gonna lose their mind when we start having presses and the videos with the graphics and the jerseys, the all black jersey. When they start releasing that content, the city gonna lose their mind. When the billboards go up and the season is going training camp, the city gonna watch training camp. It'll be the most crowded training camp we ever had in the history of the history of this team.
It's closed. That's happened. No, that's happened in the time that we recorded. I was going to get to that at the end of the show.
See?
But yeah, we're not going to training camp this year. It's closed. So
because it'll be too many people. So it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, Marq, I think you're right. Like I said, on a football level, I think that was probably the sexy pick because he like you look at what he just did in Tennessee. They were like, he's the hot OC. You know, I think in the fact that we didn't go like Bobby Slowick or like that this year, who's also a hot OC. You know what I mean? Like, and we did go with Raheem, who has been here. He's been, again, 15 years since he was his last head coaching job. Actually, I loved the hire. I thought it was a great hire. You know what I mean? So and we had Joe Patrick on, Marq, from 1990 game about a month or so ago, 2 months ago. And he said, it's just a different atmosphere, and then he really liked Arthur. Like he had a really good relationship with Arthur, and he's like, it's just different. It's just a different atmosphere. Raheem walks in, like everybody's light and airy, and they're not on pins and needles. Like they know he's not going to give that kind of smart ass answer. You know what I mean? And be all. It's like Joe said he could tell, like with Art. He said I could tell as soon as the lights go on that there was like it just turned. Like he was that kind of smug asshole. In the conference, but off the camera, he's like, dude, nicest guy in the world. Like, just, wow. We'd have regular conversations and just, non-football related conversations. And, I don't know if he felt like he had to keep up that type of aura about him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he felt like he needed to do that for the team or for himself. I don't know. But, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that was a learning experience for him. But either way, yeah, Marq, like you said, dude, I mean, he was probably in over his head a little bit with trying to play call plays and, be the head coach of the team, So I just think it's.
I always said his mental process was, I think that you think that I think that you thinking that I think that you think, and then you do some dumb shit. And we all sitting there like, man, you wasn't thinking at all, bro. But I got a good one for you, Marq. I got a good one for you. I ask everybody this. I'm going to ask you. You got to come with it. You can pick any Falcon from Falcon history that ever played on the team from any era. You can get him at the peak of his talents for 1 year, and it's only next year to help this specific team. The peak of his talents, any Falcon to help this specific team get to the Super Bowl, the playoffs, whatever you want to say. Who you bring in and why?
Oh, it's tough. I'm going to let you know now it's defense for sure.
Okay.
Oh, this is tough.
This can be good then. All right.
Because there's two names. But with this current roster, all right. So I'm simplified. I'm not going to be Arthur Smith. I'm not going to try to, outsmart myself. But it's going to be Prime. It's going to be Prime. And
okay. I love it.
I was going to consider John Abraham, but I feel like we just invested so much in the D line. We're talking about this roster. We didn't address defensive. Well, we didn't address the cornerback room much. But him on the opposite side of AJ, now you got to start throwing towards AJ a little bit. Woo.
Man.
Which may be a bad thing, hypothetically, because now AJ going start catching interceptions, and he's gonna
Right.
produce, and that's gonna make it harder for us to resign him. But nah, that's a great question, man. Like I said, I was leaning towards John Abraham because, man, he was just different, man. Like his length, like he was like swagger wise. I feel like that's one of the most underrated things about John Abraham. He brought a swagger to the defensive line, like, so like I said, it's tough, but I gotta go Prime, man. I gotta go.
He could take the kickbacks too.
Yeah,
so that's double edged. Yeah,
that's true.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I can't fault you for either one of those, dude. I would love to have I would love to have an alpha edge. I would love it.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd also love to see Deion pick, like, just doing his thing too. Like either one, I'd be happy with either one of those, man. Yeah, I think. Oh shit, Berto, what's up, buddy?
Berto, what up?
Man, we good, buddy.
A lot of you guys, hope all is well. You know we good, man.
Yeah, man.
Out of your Falcon mind.
Demetrius
Give me prime time. He said the same thing.
So talking about the corners, man, like, so are you good, Marq, with AJ on one side and Clark or Mike Hughes or whoever that is, or are you thinking we're going to like swoop somebody and bring somebody else in?
I definitely think we can add a little depth. But I'm feeling all right, man. We have so many coaches on this roster that have experience coaching DBs, so like they know something. I was high on Clark Phillips last season when we drafted him. You look at his college tape, man. He's a baller, and we want to talk about these narratives. There's a narrative going around that he is a slot corner, and in my opinion, he's not a slot corner. Now he can play inside. He can play inside. I mean, I guess, but he's been extremely productive outside. He was, he looked solid at times last season when he was thrown in the fire. So I'm excited, man, to give him that shot outside, man. And I think one thing we saw with Dan Quinn was, you didn't need elite corners. The year we went to the Super Bowl, Trufant got injured. He was out most of the season. He wasn't in the Super Bowl. We had Jalen Collins. He was shaky. And all of a sudden, he turned his game around. Obviously, he got fried in the Super Bowl. But, I feel like with this scheme, you just need, like, young, hungry corners, man. Like, and I feel good about Clark outside. And then, surprisingly, like, I feel good about D. Alford as an inside or outside corner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at those three, I think that's a solid three. And then you can't forget one thing that makes it easier for everybody is Jesse Bates. I mean, he's probably the best safety in the football. So I feel good about those three. I fully expect us to cut Mike Hughes, unless he's still returning kicks. I think that's but yeah, like if we can add a little depth at corner, why not? Because we brought in Kevin King.
Yep.
Depth.
Dude from,
I know we signed a couple corners.
Yeah, dude from Arizona, Antonio.
Yeah. And I saw he started a couple games last season. So again, if there's anybody that knows that we need a cornerback, it's going to be Jerry Gray and Raheem Morris, man. And I think Jimmy Lake was just a DB coach with the Rams, wasn't he? I know Jimmy Lake has some experience at DB.
He does, yeah, he does. Yeah, he was. I think he was. I think Raheem said he was like the offensive analyst or something. So he could get some experience on that side of the ball, I think. And so he would help. He would help the Rams defense kind of like, or he'd help their offense despite kind of like what he saw from a defensive perspective, that type of thing. So yeah, but no, I agree with you, man. You're 2 for 2 with Mike, dude. Like, because he called Clark during the draft. He's been seeing Clark's praises since day one.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, like. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like you said, they don't come hungrier than Clark. I mean, like, he looks like he's about as hungry as they can get.
Yep.
Like last year, the opportunities he got was good. Little handsy, like he would get like his penalty rate was a little high, but that's obviously something that you can coach and you can, take that aggressiveness down. I'd rather him be too aggressive than getting cooked every time. Though. Like, I'd take that. Like, I'd rather you coach you down a little bit than trying to like get you to be more aggressive. But yeah, so I'm with you on that. And talking about Jesse, man, like I heard that like he and Kirk will like get together after practices, and talk about what each other saw from each side. And like dude, I mean, like Like, talk about two pro. Like, we couldn't have. I mean, look, you could talk about the talent level for Kirk or whatever, but as far as professionals, you couldn't have two better professionals as the leader of your offense and defense.
Yep.
Man. Like, we're in a good spot when we got those guys.
And Penix put that fire on his ass too. He know he got to perform. It's just not your job going away. I don't care what they say, because if you start messing up, the crowd will start chanting Penix, and you will have pressure to perform. So I know he want to perform, and he got something to prove. He got hurt. He got traded. I'm sure he want to win a Super Bowl, man. He got something on his chest. He want to prove he is, because he on the second tier. He want to prove he on the first tier.
Like, this has been Kirk's entire career, right? Like, he wasn't the man at Michigan State. Then he gets drafted behind RG3, and then Minnesota was the first time he was like, kind of like, okay, here's the keys. Like, it's you, and then here it's like he thought the same thing, and all of a sudden, boom, nope, here's Penix, So it's like, I don't mind it from that level, because it's like, dude, like, I mean, if you need another reason to perform, like if you need that, I mean, there you got it. I mean, you got all the juice in the world that you need to go out there and perform at a high level and prove whoever you want to prove, right or wrong, whatever the case may be. So, and that's I mean, and you're right, Mike. I mean, if he has a couple of bad games, people are going to be. That's just the nature of the fandom, right? Especially the fans that are only there when we're winning. Like, so if they're
MJP.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there was Schaub chants whenever Vic was doing bad. I mean, like, they were like, "Well, we got to put Matt Schaub in." I'm like, man. And Schaub turned out to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But, I mean, he had his day there in Texas, for the Texans. But I mean, at the time, like, come on, man, this doesn't make any sense. And Berto said, my Bleacher Report running mate, as I put it, the Marq
Chaney World Tour continues.
Oh yeah, and folks, we are going to do keep our regular show going on Berto as far as this fall as well. As long as everything you can, like, we'll 195 North meet 75 South. We'll keep going in the fall once we get that going again. So that was always fun. Mike, do you have anything else for Marq Falcons wise?
I did want to ask you this, Marq. Who's gonna take the biggest jump? Now, who's gonna have the biggest gap in how they performed last year to next year? You had to pick one player. The biggest gap, like you was sorry or you was good, however it was, but who's gonna make the biggest jump from wow, damn, he wasn't this last year?
Man, I'm gonna stay defense and I'm gonna stay DB room, man. And it's gonna be DeMarco Helms.
That was hard. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one. Good one.
Hey,
why you think that? Because he like understand it more. He gonna get to be with Jesse, and like, why do you say that?
Yeah, I mean, another year coming into the league, so you get another spin at everything, training camp, and we got to remember he led before he got drafted. He was at Alabama. He led Alabama in tackles. So to me, what that tells me is you got that dog in you, because the guy in front of you was probably pretty good. The guy behind you probably can't wait to get their spot. So you maintain what you had to do throughout the summer, throughout fall to get your spot. Then you performed throughout the season. Then you get drafted by the Falcons 6th round. A lot of people are saying, you're not that good because you can't cover. And then when he got his chances in Atlanta, he showed that progression. And so I think another year, he got his opportunity when Richie was playing, because I know a lot of people might say Richie in this situation. Oh, I think Richie might take the jump. I think Richie might be better, but as a third safety, I think it's DeMarco Helms' job to lose. I feel like he gained enough experience, another year with Jesse Bates. And this is the most important thing, Mike. He just changed his number, if I'm not mistaken. I think Clark Phillips changed his number, and I think Helms changed their number. And I don't know if y'all know, but Primetime had a classic quote that says, you look good, you play good, you play good, you eat good. We all know how it goes. And I feel like with those two guys changing their numbers, that tells me that they're getting comfortable and that they fully expect to ball out. Like, it's not you being a fourth round pick don't matter no more. Now it's just okay. Now it's trying to eat, and now it's trying to help my team win a Super Bowl. So again, I think we have an elite safety, man. I think we have an elite safety right here in Atlanta. And we're not talking about Jesse Bates. It's DeMarco Hellams. I think with his ability to tackle, and again, another year. I mean, again, let's just imagine this. If Jesse Bates is having a conversation with Kirk Cousins, imagine the conversations he's having with DeMarco Hellams.
Yep. He's bringing the information back. Yep.
Bringing the information back. You know, we talk about Raheem Morris, the DB coach. You know, he was a DB coach at Washington when Kirk Cousins got drafted. You know, you just look at the roster, man. I think they know something we don't know about these DBs because they ain't had nobody.
Yeah, 100%.
Clark.
So to me, it has to be one of those guys, you know, DeMarco Hellams and potentially Clark Phillips.
So, John, I got to ask you that too, buddy. I would love to know your answer to that question. Who's going to make the biggest jump from last year to this year?
I'll be different, go offense, and I'll say Matt Bergeron.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think that?
Offensive line, he went from left tackle to guard this last season. You know, he played left tackle at Syracuse. He moved inside to the left guard, which is not the hardest transition, but it's a different, like you tackle, you've got time, right? Tackle, you've got time to kind of set up. You got your edges coming at you. Guard, they're on your ass immediately. Like the ball snapped, it's like you got to react. So that's sometimes tough for guys at that level to adjust to, right? So I think he did a good. I mean, he had his games where you were off, but I mean, overall, to be thrown into the year one when you start, I thought he did a hell of a job.
He did excellent, yeah.
So I can see him really, like, with Dahlman next to him, you know, getting another year next to Jake, you know, having those two guys in between him. I think he's take a big step, and I think it's gonna help our run game even more because we know last year if we ran to the right, we were in good shape. If we ran to the left, then we weren't going nowhere. So I mean, I think that's like this year that makes us a little bit more dangerous to the run game too. So yeah.
Now I'm gonna go third. I'm gonna go different. The Tasmanian Devil, Troy Anderson. When we let Troy loose, when Troy get loose, when we use him properly, when he got his mental, because right now, when you saw him first, he was just out of Iverson. He just street balling. He running past the play sometimes. He is wild, the Tasmanian Devil. When he understand it mentally, when he get the second year, where he understand it, where he can read when Troy get loose, because he already got the physical part down. When he get the mental part down, Troy might be one of the best in the NFL, man. Troy, I want to see Troy throw the football. I heard he could run. I want to see him catch. He could do everything. I just want to see him just try it out. Just see what we do. If we need a yard, just give it to Troy and just see if he could plow through on the goal line. I would love to see it. So that's dope. That's three different players. If y'all don't got nothing excited, if y'all not excited about nothing, we just named three different players and gave valid reasons. It wasn't just fandom. Those are all valid reasons that young players we got that are all sexy picks. That's what I said. So we got a bunch of strippers, and you know I love strippers if I don't love nothing else, man. So y'all should be excited for the new season. We going to the Super Bowl, I promise.
Hey, you know what's crazy too? I know I said DeMarco, but you kind of maybe include Richie Grant into that. Those are all second round picks we named.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's true.
Again, because I think a lot of people would probably say Richie Grant. But to think about that, like those are all second round picks.
That's why, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's why at the start of the show, I'm like hesitant to blame Terry if we don't succeed, because these are clearly good picks. You did pick well, you bought good groceries. If we can use them, I don't know if that would be on you, but you produced good picks, man. Troy Anderson came from Montana State. How'd you know? We all was like, who is Troy Anderson? Like, you did that. Then Bergeron was somebody that we was all mad. Who? And then you look at his character. He was a captain, the way he carried himself, the way he did. These are all things that you saw that we was even like, man, what is this dude doing? And it turned out great. So when you do the Penix thing, I won't speak against you. I got to let that play out, and I got to trust that you know what you're doing. You smarter than me, man, because I'd have picked Matt Ryan, then Matt Ryan again. We would have had a team of Matt Ryans and lost. We wouldn't have won again. He's slow and old. But I got to trust Terry because, like I said, he can obviously. Johnny Yates, I'm going to quote you. I think this was one of the best things John ever said was, if you can pick talent, then you can pick it in the 6th and 7th round. If you can pick it, you can pick it. It don't have to be all in the 1st and 2nd round that you get good players. If you know what you're looking at, which I do not, but that man clearly does. So I trust him.
Yeah, man. I mean, with those guys, especially like Richie, and they won't say it, but I gotta believe like Richie, like this is Richie's year. Like he's either gotta like really put it together on the field,
Yep.
or then they're
Or
gonna make a
he
right.
gonna meet Jalen Hawkins.
Yeah, right. But I mean, you know, I mean, like y'all know, like I was the biggest Richie fan there was. Like I
John
as
loved
long
Richie.
as I possibly could.
John was
I
voting
just,
for Richie when he was messing up, and everybody turned on him. John was still like, Richie, go get it together.
I was trying to find everything I could, man. But there's like, you know, it was like one tight end after another kept just,
Yep.
you know, and I was just like, damn, okay, well, we can't have it. Yeah, and then part of it was looking at that, you know, going back and watching the film. It's like, you know, why do you even have him in a deep third? Like, why would you even do that? You know, like that's not his game. You know what I mean? Like that's not. So I think, and like, you know, what Mark said earlier, with this, as many DB coaches as we have, and as many DB centric guys as we have on this coaching staff, like they're going to put these guys in better positions. You know, I mean, the defense itself is going to look different based on Raheem's defense, based on what Jimmy Lake's going to call. But you know, it's I think it'll benefit him for sure, and like DeMarco too. I think so. But I think those guys are neck and neck, man. I think, in fact,
and
I think
Joe said on his ass now.
Joe said, Joe said on the previous when they were doing the OTAs that DeMarco was actually taking first team snaps.
Yeah,
so like they're going to see who, you know, find out who's best and figure it out. But Mike, you got anything else, buddy? You want to move on to underrated or overrated? Mark, you got anything going on the Falcons before we go underrated or overrated? Anything at all?
No, I mean, well, I remember last time. I guess I'm gonna reiterate this before, you know, for the people coming in. Maybe we had some people that fell out, but man, there's no reason to have any negative energy with this roster.
None.
You know,
say it again. Say it again.
None.
I just don't think that. I mean, I can understand you maybe disagreeing with the pick, because I disagree with some picks and decisions. But overall, this is a special unit, you know. So just want to throw that out there, you know. You know, just a little commercial break.
No, man, I love it. I love it, man.
Kerry said, John, Mike, and Mark. I'm late, so I'll catch the replay for everything I missed. Hope everyone is doing well. You got to be on time. You on time for work? I'm sure that you're not an hour late at your job. No, I'm kidding. You got to watch it. Timothy Fisher, 14-3. I'm going with you, 14 and up. Play I Love Him Strippers by 2 Chainz. Now we talking. Now you talking my language. I got a whole playlist. It's called Strip Pole.
Oh my goodness. All right, Mike, do you want to start underrated or overrated, buddy?
I will start underrated, overrated. I'm gonna go underrated. First one I'm going is Love. I'm gonna say Love is underrated. I'm gonna tell you why. Man, before I had a dog, I used to watch people with dogs and say, that is ridiculous. You are ridiculous. Okay. He got on clothes. Okay. He sleeping in the bed. You are ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are clearly lonely and disturbed. Okay. I threw my dog a birthday party yesterday. Okay. He had a cake. He had a party hat. He had presents. I planned a day. It was like an event. Like we going to get the pup cup. Then we doing all your favorite things. We going to Wendy's. And I got emotional when I was doing it. I felt like, man, I love this little creature. It's like he knew it was his birthday. He's the most adorable little guy, and I love my dog. So I just feel like, in general, if it's your dog or with anything else, love will make you. It turn your brain on. I'll say that. I feel like it turn your brain on, and it makes you become a greater person. I want to go to work and get more money to buy my dog more things. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't have children. So I want to do more work so I want my dog to have, he got his own room. Okay. So I want my dog to have, I want him to have everything. And I feel like if I feel like this about a dog, imagine how people feel about their children. Like I couldn't imagine it. Right. And I was just thinking that, damn, it would probably be like 200 times this if I had a child. So I was just thinking, dog, when you love something, and I will say this, we get used a lot and like our relationships with people. That people that come to use us is people that come to abuse us. It's people that come just to trade. Like And then you get love. It's people who just come. I don't mean to just go off the course, but it's people who come for sex. It's people who come to use you. When you get love in any way, that is something that you don't throw back in and you don't misuse. If it's come from your goldfish, your dog, or your child, or your aunt, or your mom, that's transformative because it don't even go away when somebody dies. You still feel the love for the person, even though they gone. So it's like infinite, it's permanent. So I just thought it was dope, and I love my dog. So I gotta go love. Underrated. Shout out to Biscuit.
Shout out to Biscuit.
Shout out to Biscuit, man. Shout out to Biscuit.
Man, Biscuit came over, Marq, and did Thanksgiving with us last year.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. He had turkey, he had everything, man. He he ate the best Thanksgiving he's ever had in his life.
He did.
Marq, you want to go, buddy? You got anything? Underrated, overrated? It could be anything.
Ooh. Oh, it could be anything. Maybe it's just stay Falcons. Let me stay Falcons because, again, you know, my ears have been to the streets these past 30 days. You know, I know y'all been missing. But for whatever reason, people have continued to disrespect Caleb McGarry. And I want to say he is underrated. 2 seasons ago, 2022, he had an 86.6 PFF score. This past season, he's had a 75.5. To me, people keep saying he's the weakest link. Okay, he may not be perfect. He may not be the best pass blocker, but I feel like he is an extremely underrated piece of this team. So I think I'm going to go with Caleb McGarry as underrated. And I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, John, with Bergeron. But I think the best thing the best thing for offensive line is continuity. And this is what year?
It is.
This is what year 5 now?
5, right? Yeah, with that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to be any better than Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry on that right side and run situations and pass situations. So we need to start, you know, buying into the idea that he is here to stay. So again, Caleb McGarry, underrated.
You are the only person I've ever heard and probably will ever hear say that. So I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. He took a wild. You think I go off the rails? He took a wild take. He went by the fork in the road and went straight. I absolutely love it.
That was great.
But again, my ears been to the streets.
Yeah, and people do drag him quite often. He got dragged on this show at least.
Oh, for sure. And it's not because like we don't like him as a. I mean, it was just you know we know he has his deficiencies. Like he can't block the speed rush all that well. Now run blocker, phenomenal run blocker.
Yeah,
like he will like pave the road like a mother. You know, and so if you got somebody to help him chip, cool. You know what I mean? Like if he's still there and Penix is starting, I'm gonna be a little concerned though. I'll be a little bit concerned because he is, you know, with the lefty, you got him coming off the blind side. Like I'll be a little concerned. But maybe he takes a jump here and 5 6. Never know. Exactly. You never know.
Yeah.
All right. So my second one will be Falcons related. My first one's gonna be I know this is a football show. But underrated, and it's actually a 2-part. It's underrated and it's overrated. So underrated, the College World Series for baseball. So
love it.
And it's like, if you're a baseball fan, like of course you watch the Braves, stuff like that. So I know it's been like a month, but if y'all remember, my last overrated was Xfinity because we got rid of Xfinity because they freaking canceled Bally Sports, right? So I can't watch the Braves. So we didn't even add, like I added Fubo for like a week. And I didn't mind it, but its functionality would just piss me off. And like I couldn't we just was like, no, that's not worth it. So essentially I'll just be either listening to the Braves or I haven't been watching them at all. But I have been watching, I do have ESPN Plus, so I've been watching college baseball, right? So I've been watching the Super Regionals, and the World Series starts this coming Friday in Omaha. And dude, like the drama that goes into like those games, like it is insane. Like I watched, if you can still go back and watch it, it's the Clemson Florida game. And I think it was 11 innings or 12 innings. Then the final score was 11-10, like Florida won in the walk-off. But dude, the stuff that happened in that game, like some of these kids, like they're never going to play again. Like this is it. They're not going to the pros. This is their last game. Like they're leaving everything out there. There was a play. Y'all seen the Willie Mays catch, over the shoulder. There was that, plus the kid jumped into the wall and caught the ball. Like,
Oh
it was
man.
insane. Like, it was like, it'll be a Sports Center top #1. Should be Sports Center #1. If y'all find it online, I'm sure you'll see it. But just that game had everything, man. Like, it was amazing to see. And then at the same time, overrated. Now look, and there's some good ones, but this goes for college, this goes for the pros, this goes for my kids' baseball level 14U or 13U right now. Umpires, damn it. Like, I understand it's a tough job. But like, Angel Hernandez, like, is the worst umpire of all time in MLB, right? He's going to retire, thankfully. Like, we're like, if you see some of the calls he's missed, like, it's like some of the. Marq, are you a baseball fan at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I mean, dude, he'll call strikes on pitches that are 6 inches off the plate. And I'm not exaggerating, like 6-7 inches off the plate. Like, players have gotten thrown out because just like, if it's close, okay, that's fine. Like, and so at my kids' level, right, at 13. I say this umpires because this past tournament, something that I've never seen, and my kid's been playing baseball since he was 5 years old. The organization removed the umpire after the second game. He was that bad.
Wow.
So they had to wait on another umpire to come in. His strike zone, look, our team, we have a lot of arms on our team. We can pitch, and the team we were playing could pitch. There was 17 walks in that game. This strike zone was like a fucking 6x6 square. Like, and everybody was like, and both coaches were pissed. We got guys that are like dotting it, and they're hitting these like, no, it's a ball. Like, where is he missing? And I've never seen that before. I've never, and it's like with kids, at least, normally most good umpires will tell you, I'll give a kid an inch off the plate and like an inch high or low. Like, they don't want to walk fast. They want these kids out there and swing the bat, right? Like, because nobody wants to sit there and watch that. And the kids that are hitting knows that. Like, they know their strike zone is going to be a little bit wider, so they're going to start swinging the stuff that's close. But man, like, that was something. And then so the dude, it was a really weird weekend. Like, the guy who came and replaced him was like I'm not shitting you, was his brother.
That's hilarious.
And his glasses were, his glasses were like 3 inches thick, and like, he didn't clean off the home plate, right? And there was a bases loaded situation, and there was a play at the plate where our catcher just had to step on it. He couldn't find the plate. So he stepped like 3 times. He got the plate. Finally, we could see it from the stands, but the guy called him safe. And then we were like, you can't see. And then he goes out there and wipes off the plate. We're like, oh yeah, it's a good idea to use your fucking brush and wipe off the plate now. And then the next day, but there's literally no batter's box. We're in bracket play, right? We're down. We're making a comeback. Our kid gets a hit in the right field, run scores. The home plate ump calls it, says no, batter is out. He steps out of the batter's box. I'm not kidding. There was not a batter's box. The chalk was gone. It was dirt. And so our coach walked over and was like, where did he step? Because you can't tell me there's no box. He said, you can see the footprint right there. He's like, are you shitting me? Like, 75 kids walk around this plate. You're going to say that footprint was that kid stepping out? Like,
CSI.
Why would you do that? Like, we're literally like in the championship game. Like, we were runners up. We played our asses off, but we were just out of, we played 3 games on Sunday, started at 8:00. We ended at like 8:00 at night. But we were like, come on, man. Like, you can't be like that. And then our coach, thankfully, Liam was pitching. He threw 4 innings, pitched his ass off. But he had an inning where I couldn't go that day. I was sick. I was watching it on the stream, right? And he had a ground ball at second base. Runner was out by 2 steps, easy. Field ump calls him safe. So our coach asked the home plate ump, hey, can you saw it, can you overturn him? And he was like, it's a judgment decision. He's like, yeah, but I like your judgment better. He's like, no, it's his judgment. I'm like,
damn.
Okay. So 2 plays later, play at second base again, out by. And it was tougher for me to tell on the stream, but I asked Liam, I was like, which one was more egregious, like the first one or the second base? He's like, oh, second. He's like, second by a mile. Calls him safe. Dude, I see our coach, who's not this way. Our coach, about professional, dude, he hops out of the dugout so fast, doesn't ask for time, just like hauls ass straight to the umpire. And he's like, dude, like, you're killing me. Like, we are in this game. We're trying to win this game. You're making my pitcher's throwing good ball, and you're making this. And he ended up getting tossed. And he tossed him out. So he had to go by the parking lot. But we ended up winning the game. But Liam had to basically throw 5 outs that inning. You know what I mean? But it's like, Like, I know y'all's tough. I know y'all's job is hard, but you make it harder on your damn selves. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you like just call the strike zone the way it is? You ain't got to be special about it. You don't have to do any oh, it's just man, it's just frustrating. But anyway, it was a good. But just we've had dude. I'm telling you, we've had some experiences this year with umpires. But and me and Berto laughed because Berto's daughter's playing softball, and he's like, Berto, I think almost got thrown out of a softball game a few weeks ago. So like he knows, like like they're quick too, man. They got some rabbit ears. Like if you just say one, like what you have to do if they call us a ball something like you don't like, you just good pitch, man, good pitch. And we actually had to turn around and be like, I'm not gonna take this from y'all. We're like, take what? We can't say good pitch because you didn't call it a strike. Like, on, like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. That's kid sports though, man. That's how it is.
I love it. Oh man, I got another one. Man, I'm gonna go underrated. I gotta. I've seen two different people drag this, man. It's not a lot of people that you gonna hear me stand up for. I really don't care, but it's one of them that I'm gonna go to bat for. It's Matty Ice. You know I'm gonna do that. Lil Wayne. I'm gonna do that every time. And my third one is Allen Iverson. Okay, I've watched two people this past week try to drag Allen Iverson for different reasons, or say what he wasn't or what he was. Bro, it's no dragging out Allen Iverson. There's no, you didn't watch the sport if you didn't if you don't understand Allen Iverson. He took a very mediocre team to battle Goliath, and they won a game. It wasn't a sweep, and that was against Kobe and them. And he did that, man, with like Eric Snow and like Aaron McKee. You cannot discount what that man did. It was nobody in the league who could check him at the top of his game. No one could check Allen Iverson. And they tell you, then when they asked Kobe Bryant, who's the hardest person for you to check? He said Allen Iverson. He said Allen Iverson was the hardest person for him to check. He was a problem. Not only was he a problem to try to disrespect that man or to discredit him, he turned whoever was from the hood, he gave you hope. He gave you hope. He made us all believe that we could be anything we wanted to be. He looked like us. He talked like us. He dressed like us. He was rapping. He had his homeboys was with him. He had 50 homeboys. He had the big jeans on with all the chains. All the rappers loved him. All the girls loved him. And he changed the way the entire sport. When you see the sport of basketball before Allen Iverson, they was dressing like Michael Jordan and like Dan Marley, but they had on small shorts and they was professional. And when Allen Iverson came, he's the reason why you got tattoos in the game today. He's the reason why you got braids and he took L's for that stuff. He took L's. He had to go. It's like easy for us to do it. Well, I don't play, but for the players to do it now, it's easy for them to do it because they don't have to go through anything. He went through hell for you to get that right. He did some civil rights shit in the NBA because he got dragged for his hair. He got dragged for his tattoos. He got dragged for that jewelry. He got dragged for them clothes. He got dragged for having his boys there. All the things that are normal now, all the things that you get to do, he got crucified for doing. And he stood tall. And the man, he changed the entire sport. I know we love Michael Jordan. I love Michael Jordan. But he is the one. He was like the influence. That's who kids was trying to be when he came out. They wanted to be Allen Iverson when there was a comparison between who you want to be, Michael Jordan or Allen Iverson. Everyone was picking Allen Iverson. I vividly remember this. He's all of our hero. He's a legend. So to say what he wasn't, or to say what he was, or to drag him about the practice rant or him being professional, man, Allen Iverson was a GOAT. He is one of the best pound for pound players in NBA history. So I will not allow it. And what he means to us, y'all don't know what he means to the street. So in no way, shape, or form are we allowing y'all to drag that man for anything. He means something to us that goes far beyond the sport of basketball. Do you understand what I'm saying? So keep that opinion to your goddamn self, okay? I won't allow you to drag my man AI, because AI is the go to the game. And again, there was no he rocked Michael Jordan that one good time. I'm sorry, Mike, I don't mean, but he took Mike on a wild roller coaster ride.
Yeah, he had him on skates.
Yeah, so I had to join my phone.
I think you ended up muting Mike.
Did I? Yeah.
Oh, I just muted myself. See, I was going so hot on Allen, but no, I just don't appreciate that, dog. He really means something to a world of people. He influenced a lot of a lot of the kids that play basketball now were influenced by Allen Iverson. He was the hero. I heard LeBron James say he didn't want to be Michael Jordan. He wanted to be Allen Iverson. So you can't take that away from him. The man is a Hall of Famer. The man he paid for so many people to go to college that y'all didn't hear these stories. He took care of his entire neighborhood. So that's how he blew his money. So you can blame him for he wasn't responsible, but that man had a golden heart. So that's why he blew through that money. He wasn't using drugs with it, and he wasn't doing stupid stuff. He was taking care of people. He cleaned up all his friends' credit. He got them all cars. He got them all houses. He had too big of a heart. So that's what the flaw was there, which is still irresponsible, but it came from a good place. So I just want to say that it is no dragging Allen Iverson with me. I will speak up for that 100% of the time because he means something to me personally, and he means something to the world. So stop it. For God's sake, stop it. No dragging Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Hey, I remember Kobe saying the league was lucky AI wasn't 6'5".
Dog, how was you going to check that? Yeah. Yep. He was little. And I want to say this. If y'all ever get the chance, Google a poster that used to be out. It was him, but it pointed out all of his injuries. And it went all around his body. And the man had 100 of them. The toughest player we ever seen play the sport. Dog, that man was getting punished because he was too little. When he didn't have on his shirt, you could see his ribs. So he was going up and getting punished, and they wouldn't call foul because the league didn't really like Allen Iverson. So if you ever see that poster, it's a Google image. Go see that poster with his injuries and how tough that man was and how he got up every time and didn't complain and kept balling. It's no dragging Allen Iverson. I'm sorry. GOAT.
Love it, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I think Xfinity was trolling me or something. They heard me talk.
I'm telling you, he tried to diss his internet provider, and they said, "Okay."
All right, we always listening.
Yeah,
I guess, man. It must have I don't. Oh, here we go. I think it's working again. Hang on, let me try this one more time.
So hold on. Hold on. While John's fixing that, I want to sneak in one more. I'm just telling y'all, it will help you tremendously. John is back in full color. I just want to say this one last one. It will help you tremendously. Man, overrated if you have stomach problems is eating 3 meals a day. What changed my life is I only have 2 meals and it's in an 8-hour period. Well, 1 meal and a snack really. And I'm just programmed that you should eat 3 times a day. And it was killing me. I felt tired all the time. I was having stomach problems. All this stuff is because I'm just programmed to do that. Then it went to 2 meals a day. And then it went to, a snack and then 1 meal a day, where it's a smoothie and 1 meal a day. And it's in an 8-hour period. So my stomach has 16 hours without food. Dog, it's a life-changing practice. If you have stomach issues or you feel tired and sluggish, a life-changing practice is to put it in the 2 meals in an 8-hour window and then go 16 without eating, and to allow your body to digest the food and to properly, digest the food. Life-changing practice. You should try it.
Love it, man. I'm gonna do one last quick one, and my underrated is I might have done it before. I don't remember, but I'm gonna say again, if I did for that, Jerry Gray, I'm gonna say is underrated because I do think us keeping him around, I don't think was I mean, it kind of goes a little bit under the radar, but the fact that he had that big of an impact on Jesse and AJ and Richie and all those guys, that just for another staff to come in and be like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. I think that just speaks volumes on, I think, what he means to the team. And, I think he's happy doing the work behind the scenes. You don't have to be the guy out there doing, even though he did some interviews, I think he's happy just being able to coach the guys. And every time you hear him get an interview, though, you're like, man, I would love to play for him, because he seems like he talks to you like you're a man, he fully respects you. but he's going to give it to you like your dad would at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think, he's underrated. But Timothy said, what say y'all? We had 42 sacks last season. Do we reach that or exceed that number this year?
Exceed.
Let's go.
Exceed.
Let's go. I'm with you.
Yeah, definitely exceed.
Yep, I'm with you.
62.
Yeah, man.
What up? Yes, sir.
What's going on, Thon?
Falcons drip, my man. What up, dog?
Yeah, man. Thanks. That was Thon. That's who said it. Jesus Christ. And when we were talking about the quarterback, like he's like, he was Thon was one of the few people. Like I told him, it was like him and one other guy that was really happy on draft night that we took Michael Penix. And like he's what he said. He was the most important.
Best Instagram Falcons. His page is better than the Atlanta Falcons Instagram. True story.
It'd be booming.
I'm telling you, it's just better than the real teams one. DJ said not too many people can carry a team to the finals with no help. So we never gonna do. The league was lucky. He was super loyal to his drafted city. Love Philadelphia. If he had went to any half-ass built team, he has 2 rings today. Yep, unstoppable.
100%. Yep. Mark, do you have any other last overrated, underrated, man? Before you
come on, Mark, one more. You gotta finish the show.
Oh, hey, and I hate to finish it in this fashion, man, because before you said AI, I was also thinking of an undersized guard. And I hate to do this, man, because it's been a lot of good energy.
Oh, I know. I think I know where you're going. But go ahead.
It's been a lot of positive vibes, but I think my overrated is Trae Young.
I knew it.
I
knew it was coming. He's gonna get us canceled, Johnny.
I knew it was coming.
I hate to do it, but I feel like Trae Young is an excellent player. I think he's extremely talented, maybe one of the best Hawks of all time. But I don't think he's untouchable. That's all I'm going to say. I think he's a great player. I think he's one of the best guards in the league. But I know this is an idea in the Atlanta Hawks fan base that he is untouchable. We can't trade him. If we trade him, it'll be just like Dominique. It's all this stuff, and I think it is overrated. I think he can be moved if the price is right. And I think that moving him can help the team. So like I said, I hate to be that guy to end the show like that. So,
hey, look, Mark said, look, you see his tag at the bottom. Listen, I will not be held liable for the statements that Mark has just said, okay? Because the city of Atlanta loved that man with a passion.
Well, I think the tide's turning though.
Chris,
man. I think there's more people.
Man, when Chris hear this, I'm telling you, man, it's up.
Oh, I already know.
It's hilarious. Well, hey, man, Mark, man, we're going to get out of here, but man, make sure you plug
where
people
Mark.
can find you, dude, where they can find you, where they can find your work, what they can expect coming from you here down the road.
Yeah, hey, like I said, appreciate you guys for having me, man. This has been super dope. I'm kind of new to y'all's channel, but hey, this is back-to-back perfect shows, if you ask me, man. Love the vibes. So appreciate y'all having me. Y'all can find me at Marq Chaney pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but most importantly on YouTube. A big reason why I made this YouTube is because I feel like it was kind of hard for people to find the Bleacher Report content. So all my live streams going forward, I'll also be live broadcasting them to YouTube. I did the last Falcons show here on YouTube. Y'all can check that one out. I got a couple for the Hawks coming up. We got the NBA draft on the 26th. So I have a show before, I have a show after. Matter of fact, Bleacher Report actually just aired a mock draft for the NBA, and obviously we had the first pick. So I should be on there tonight if they release that. But yeah, and then lately I've been cooking.
What's the YouTube, Mark?
It's right here. It's Marq Chaney. Let me see if I can get the link real quick. But yeah, hey, on my YouTube channel, man. Hey, I feel like I might be a little underrated. I mean,
let's do it. Hey, let's go. Let's go.
I love it.
Hey, I feel like I've been cooking, so I'm gonna attach the I'm trying to find my link real quick. But either way, it's Marq Chaney. It's right here. Just search Marq Chaney. You can type in ATL Mark. I should pop up as I try to find this. But yeah, I've been cooking, man. And an episode I got coming up soon is actually about Caleb McGarry. I do a drill. Since y'all been gone, I've actually been doing a lot. I created a sip and scout series where I'm just sipping on, tea, coffee, maybe a little red wine, and I'm scouting some of our Yeah, a little cat, a little Merlot. I mean, you never know. You never know. That's how I'm feeling. But yeah, so I got a couple sipping scalps about to drop. Now I got another 4-minute drill. Like I said, man, I feel like I'm a little underrated, man. So don't be surprised if you see this name, continue to pop up on your YouTube browser, man.
Hey, well, that says it all, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Marq Chaney tonight or whenever you hear the show. Go subscribe to Marq. Jordan, we appreciate you, buddy. Have a great night,
Thank
man.
you, Jordan.
Dr. Slick Nuts, good to see you, dude. I just want to say your name. That's all. Good to see you tonight, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, Marq, we appreciate it, buddy. We kept you here for like damn near 2 hours, but we really appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're gonna have, like I said, we'll have you back on, of course. Closer to the season as the summer goes on and we get going. Guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight, listening to us. If you're listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, if you can drop us a 5-star review, please do. If you can hit the like button here on YouTube, please do, because that will help us out tremendously. If you go subscribe to Marq, man, it'll help him out tremendously. Like the videos that Marq does, because it's really easy, man, to do that, and it takes no time, but it's a huge thing for us. Y'all know how the algorithm is with YouTube, man. It's hard, man. You have to have people support it to get it out there. So that's all we want, man. Hey, we appreciate you, Dr. Slick Nut, as always, man.
Thank you, buddy.
And Marq just dropped it in the chat for you guys that are here in the chat. You can go right over there and subscribe, and it will be, like I said, in the comment in the description of this video as well. So yeah, man, again, you can follow us. Oh, Mike, real quick, got to give C-Dub tips on TikTok real quick. That was his other question for you.
Oh, I can't give you sauce, man. I'm just the GOAT. That's a simple answer. I'm just the GOAT, bro. It's not. I don't know how. It's just on accident. I can't. I don't know what it is. I don't.
Just Mike.
I can't call that. That's not my doing. That's them doing it. I don't ask them to do that. I don't pay them to do that. I have no idea. I'm just the GOAT, bro. I can't give you the recipe. I'm just it's just Mike. I don't know what to say there.
But hey, C-Dub, we appreciate that email, dude. That was awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
Appreciate that. That means the world too, man. Really, to hear that you've been listening that long, that's awesome. Especially in the family, that's fantastic, dude. That's awesome. We love to hear it, dude. So, yeah, man. So anyway, we will catch y'all a lot sooner than it will be. We're not going to be gone for a month. We're going to be back hopefully next week. Cross our fingers, we'll be back next week, man. Yo, Dixon Way, what's up, Larry? So what's up, fellas?
Larry, what up?
Rise up content creators on vacation. Hey, man, I saw
I love the vacation, man.
Yeah, it looks like
we all need one of those. And before we go, I just want to say I want to thank y'all for allowing us to dip in and to have personal lives and still come back, and y'all still rock with us, because we need vacations like everybody else, and we go through things like everybody else, and we got families and we got goals outside of Out of Your Falcon Mind, so we pursue those things. And but I appreciate y'all for allowing us to come back and always rocking with us, for not giving up on us, even if we take a month off from doing any type of work whatsoever on any platform. I absolutely love y'all. Thank you.
That's right, man. So Marq, appreciate you again, man. And y'all have Mama Cottrell popping in.
Mom, I love you, Mom.
Love it. And yeah, she actually texted me a few days ago because her Washington Nationals are beating the hell out of our Braves. So
see.
I like it. She's
Mom, watch baseball.
So all right, man. We all have a great night, man. Have a great week. Marq, appreciate you, brother. Mike, take us out, dude.
Thank you, Marq. Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.
See, I'm late on the outro video. So
out of your Falcon mind. Peace.
There it is.